What is up everyone, it is Nick from Aussie Money Man. Now in this video I wanted to do something a little bit different and I actually want to talk about the highest paying jobs without a degree here in Australia. Now a lot of these probably will be similar or maybe even the same overseas. However, there's quite a few videos like this for the US for example and different countries but not here in Australia. So I'm going to cover that for you guys today. So let's jump straight into it. Actually, before we do that, guys, can you guys please make sure if you're new to the channel, I imagine this video will bring in a lot of new people, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the little bell next to it so you get notifications when new videos come out like this one. Also, guys, if you like the video, make sure you thumbs up and we'll see if we can reach 100 likes on this video. Alright guys, now, I always say that there's three main things that you would get paid for highly in a job. So three main reasons that a job will be paid highly. One is if it's like highly skilled, so technical skills in computers or a trade for example, anything like that. That would be one. Two would be you're leading people, so management. So obviously as you go up in management in any role, the pay goes up. So that's another reason. It's probably the second reason. And the third reason is you're doing something dangerous or something that people just don't want to do. So tree loggers, for example, that's a mixture of two. That's obviously skill and also it's dangerous. And you'll see what I mean as I go through the 10 or the 8, I believe I've got here, highest paying jobs without a degree. And you'll see I'll sort of name why I reckon they're paid that highly. Alright guys, so number one is a youth justice officer, also known as a youth worker, depending where you are in Australia or overseas for our overseas viewers. So this is actually what I used to do. Now the reason this job's so high paying is it's a mixture of all three. So you're leading, you're basically a correctional officer in a youth centre. So you're leading, you are doing something that is difficult and not a lot of people want to do, and it also is dangerous. So you are working with criminals and some of sort of the most highly risky young people here in Australia. So that, at least in your respective state, so generally each state has sort of their own correctional centres, but that being said, it's still quite dangerous. So now this job, regarding its actual pay, it starts at about 65,000. Now the reason I put it so highly in this list and in this list at all is because when you actually do this role, if you do what I did and you work casually, that base rate of about $30 an hour plus your casual loading, and I personally was doing afternoon shifts, evening shifts, night shifts and weekend shifts. So with all these loadings, that led to me making about just under $60 an hour for a bunch of my shifts. Now, as an 18-year-old, that was insane. So this role definitely does score quite highly on this list. Now, I should add, guys, that 65,000 with all the penalties, you can easily make over 100,000. So I knew people personally making over 130,000 a year in this role, and I personally was at about 95,000 if I had stayed there over 12 months. So basically, pro rata. So the rate that I was going at, I would have easily hit just under $100,000. Alright guys, so the next one is an air traffic controller. Now this is called different things around the world, but basically more or less it is the same thing. Now you don't actually need a degree for this role. The reason I think it's paid so highly is because it is highly technical and you do have to be skilled and you do have to sort of have natural abilities that most people don't. So you have to have a very good spatial awareness, you have to be a quick thinker, and you have to be a very good communicator, obviously communicating with aircraft. So $108,000 for this air traffic controller role. Obviously you do have to get some qualifications, but you don't have to go to university for it. And obviously if you have those natural skills already, you've got all good eyesight, you've got communication, or you're willing to learn good communication skills, and you've already sort of got those, the basic sort of, I guess, needs, which is really, quite frankly, just a decent level of spatial awareness and general intelligence. This role is definitely something that you could both enjoy and make quite a lot of money from. Alright guys, so the next one is probably something you would have expected, and that is a real estate agent. So I personally know plenty of real estate agents that were my age, came out of high school at 18, 19 and easily turned over 150, 160, 170,000 a year. So this is the type of thing that is great for people that are interested in entrepreneurship too, because it's a lot about hustling. So it's not so much you're building something new, but it is sort of, I guess, it's on commission. So you might have a base salary of 50, 60,000, but if you're willing to put in the work and really hustle, the sky's really the limit when it comes to property. So becoming a real estate agent is definitely up highly on this list. Also guys, make sure you stay to the end of this video so you hear all of them, because I think some of these will surprise you and they're definitely very interesting. And I think they cover such a broad sort of scope that no matter what your passions are or what you're interested in, you can find something that fits that passion. So you're obviously getting paid well for doing something that you love, which is obviously the aim that all of us have with our careers. Alright guys, so the next one is an ethical hacker. So an ethical hacker, also known as a white hat hacker, is pretty much someone who they use their hacking abilities and their programming abilities to hack for good reasons. So they basically get paid a lot of money, well over $100,000. Again, I know someone personally who does this. He makes well over six figures and he's in his early 20s. It's very doable. So pretty much you just get certified by a few Cisco certifications, no university necessary, and pretty much once you do that, you're good to go. You're good to make a lot of money for doing something that a lot of people love to do. It's a pretty awesome thing going into what's known as cybersecurity. So pretty much a company might pay you to hack into their system and see if it's hackable. And if it is, that is what you get paid for, and you basically get paid to hack. And a lot of people that are into computers, IT, and that programming space, and cybersecurity in particular, this is a really awesome opportunity to make a lot of money doing something that you love. Alright guys, so the next one, you'll see a lot of other sites will say specifically like a construction manager, for example, and that is a good example, but I'm just going to sort of label this one as general management. So as I said earlier, doing management in general, just it's highly paid. Now the reason construction management tends to turn up in a lot of people's lists is because it fits into those two of those categories I spoke about earlier. You have to be able to lead, but you also have to do things that are generally considered somewhat dangerous, which bumps up that pay again, similar to that youth officer role I said earlier. With a lot of the roles I've said previously, they've more just sort of been skill and maybe a bit of leadership in some of them, but most of them are sort of come down to skill, and obviously the youth officer role was danger. So yeah, guys, general management, if you do management anywhere, I know someone personally that was well over 88,000. That's right, 8,000, just being a manager at a local Woolworths or Coles, so just a local grocery store. So again, guys, if you can manage people, you can lead people, you can get paid well for that anywhere. And again, you don't need any particular skills outside of that, and you don't have to be doing something necessarily dangerous. If you can lead people, you'll go places. And a construction manager is an example. Another one is, like I said, that gentleman I know who works as a manager at a grocery store. Alright guys, so similar to the management one, this one I'll just label as general sales, but you'll see in other posts I'll say car salesman or I guess real estate sales as well, but I'm just going to put real estate sales deserved its own one, but this one I'll sort of just make general. Doing sales in anything, the sky's the limit. So basically this one is skill. A lot of people don't like sales, as I mentioned in my previous videos. For example, the most previous one on affiliate marketing, which you can check out up there. By the way, it's really awesome, check that out. But basically, if you can sell, you're going to make money. It doesn't matter what industry. If you can go into real estate and sell houses, you'll smash it. Although that does sort of have a high base salary, again, that's sort of why it got its own thing, its own sort of spot in this list. But sales in general, you go become a car salesman and you sell a bunch of cars because you're good at sales, well, you're well on your way. So sales is definitely something to learn, and it's definitely one of those high income skills. If you can learn to sell, if you can learn to lead, if you can learn to do, for example, programming, that's a high income skill, you're well on your way. So that's definitely a good one. Alright guys, so the next one is for all our tradies out there, or potential tradies. So if you want to go into trades, here in Australia, basically the two trades that are winning are the electrician and the plumber. For an electrician and a plumber, you're looking at $85,000 and $75,000 respectively. Now that's really awesome, and that's starting out, guys. So if you're looking to go into the trade space and want to do something that you're going to make a lot of money for as a tradie here in Australia, definitely looking to either one of these roles. This is what my dad told me to do when I was younger. Obviously I took a different path, but if this is something you're looking at doing, it's definitely very lucrative, and again, I know people personally doing this, and yeah, it's great rates. Alright guys, and the last one is something I did look at doing before I got my other role, just to sort of get some money going, so get started the businesses that I think you guys know about now, and that is a care worker. So basically, whether it be for the elderly or for the disabled, particularly these sort of smaller companies where they'll basically contract you out to, they'll find you clients and you'll sort of contract yourself out, I guess I should say, so to speak, and help out elderly or disabled people. These guys get quite a bit of money, so quite a lot. You're looking at 70, 80k, again, especially because these are normally sort of on shift work, similar to the youth officer role. So that's definitely something to look at. I considered doing it, obviously I ended up choosing something else because it is difficult, and again, it falls into that category of something that not everyone wants to do. So again, if you can do that, you think it's something you'd enjoy, you're someone who likes helping people, it's definitely a good way to make a lot of money. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't downloaded the free ebook on market research, which basically explains in detail, even giving you direct links to the sites that I use to make money from market research, and I'm talking hundreds a week, no exaggeration, you can check that out there. It's completely free. Take a read. Don't do it if you don't want to, but definitely at least give it a read, because honestly it's an amazing opportunity and everyone should be leveraging these opportunities. And if you, again guys, you like the video, please do hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell notification. I keep forgetting to tell people to do that, but that will actually notify you when you videos come out so you can not miss out on any great content. Thank you guys so much for watching.